Life in the Old West. Real photographs of gunfighters, saloons, and a brutal lawless world. From dusty mining towns to frontier justice, these images reveal the truth Hollywood never showed. Subscribe to History Unveiled for the American frontier as it actually was. Erased Lynching Series, around 1896. Photographed by Ken Gonzalez Day from 2013. Artwork documenting vigilante justice that defined frontier law. Before the drop, condemned man stands beneath rope. Extrajudicial executions common when courts moved too slowly or delivered unwanted verdicts. Montgomery, 1870s. Two men and two women pose on porch with horses in fenced area beyond. Pioneer families building lives on claimed land. Formal portrait capturing ranch life before photography became commonplace. Everyone dressed in their finest for the camera. John Sontag of the notorious Evans and Sontag Outlaw partnership. California, fame built on train robberies. This photograph taken before he died from gunshot wounds around September 14, 1904. Not yet dead when image captured. Final portrait of dying bandit becoming evidence and memorial. Many outlaws were photographed dead or dying. These images served as proof and warning. From railroads in Utah to Arizona desert and Great Plains around Wichita, Old West remains fascinating today. Vaughn Grill's book The Old West then and now showcases historical towns in vintage photographs spanning 1856 through 1907 alongside modern images. Frontier transformed but not forgotten. Bill Bennett, Wild West detective, armed with rifle, revolver, and knife. Around 1900, private law enforcement, filling gaps where official authority barely reached. Armed for every possibility in territories where danger came without warning. Warren Frakes, 6 years old, Comanche County, Oklahoma. Mother said he picked 41 pounds of cotton yesterday. Claims she doesn't make him pick, but he picked some last year too. Has about 20 pounds in bag today. Childhood stolen by agricultural labor. Child workers common before reform laws. Many of you remember when children worked farms and fields. Times were different then. 1915. Children working their father's farm in Wisconsin. Photographed by Lewis Hine. Family farming requiring every hand, regardless of age. Education interrupted by planting and harvest seasons. Rural childhood shaped by necessity. The James Younger Gang. Notable 19th century outlaws revolving around Jesse James and brother Frank James. Gang based in Missouri, home state of most members. Bank and train robberies, making them feared across multiple states. Legend building through violence and evasion. Old-style Saloon Number 10, Deadwood, South Dakota. Located in Historical Preservation District. Best known as site where Wild Bill Hickok was assassinated by Jack McCall while playing poker, August 2, 1876. Originally on Placer Claim Number 10, source of its name. Fire-swept mining camp in 1879, destroying original structure. Bar later rebuilt at former location. Inside these saloons, fortunes changed hands and lives ended without warning. Saloon interior showing bartender. Advertising signs for Shasta Water, Shasta Lemonade, Old Saratoga Whiskey, Old Holland Gin. Typical frontier drinking establishment. Social hub where locals and travelers gathered. Alcohol flowing, money changing hands, stories growing taller with each round. When gunfire faded and dust settled, Old West legends immortalized through post-mortem photography. Outlaws, lawmen, gunslingers captured in final moments. Propped in coffins, slumped in chairs, laid with weapons still in hand. Some eyes closed, others eerily forced open. Images serving as ghost stories etched in silver and shadow. Proof that even fiercest men couldn't escape mortality. Two unfortunate bad men, names lost to history. Corpses propped up and photographed as grisly warning to other bandits about swift justice awaiting them. Popular retribution form in 19th century with less fondness for due process. Dead outlaws posed seated or standing, appearing to nap but deceased. Post-mortem photography was common practice. Families preserved final images of loved ones. Klondike brothel, 1890s. Soiled doves playing billiards in pool. Women of the night entertaining clients between transactions. Leisure activities mixed with profession in establishments serving minors flush with gold. Flapper Jack Saloon, Cripple Creek, Colorado, around 1895. Prostitutes required to wear aprons over short dresses in case anyone took offense at sight of ankles. Modesty regulations in establishments dedicated to vice. Contradictions of frontier morality. White gowns, trademark clothing of Wild West prostitutes. Distinctive uniforms signaling profession. Women advertising services through dress in mining towns, where men vastly outnumbered women. Sex work operating openly where demand exceeded supply. Newly discovered tintype shows Billy the Kid playing croquet with accomplices from New Mexico gang known as Regulators. Legendary gunslinger engaged in genteel lawn game. Rare glimpse of outlaw's leisure time contradicting feared reputation. Billy the Kid's life ended violently, but before that moment, everyday activities continued. Texas cowboys enjoying drinks in lively saloon, 1895. Glimpse into everyday life and camaraderie in Old West. After long days working cattle, men gathering for whiskey and conversation. Few entertainment options, making saloons essential social centers. Kitty Leroy, legendary saloon owner, gambler, and performer in Deadwood. One of most colorful women on American frontier. Business proprietor in rough mining town. Female entrepreneur in male-dominated world building fortune through cards and entertainment. Faro gamblers at White Elephant Saloon, Bingham, Utah, around 1906. Popular card game attracting minors, hoping to multiply earnings. Fortunes won and lost across fell tables. Gambling forming economic backbone of frontier saloons. Hopi prisoners on Alcatraz photographed and images sent home proving none had died. Indigenous people imprisoned far from homeland. Federal government using incarceration to break tribal resistance. Families requiring photographic evidence of survival. Alcatraz held Native American prisoners before becoming famous for gangsters like Al Capone. Miner's cabin somewhere in Colorado, 1898. Rough shelter in remote mining region. Prospectors living in primitive structures while chasing mineral wealth. Isolation and hardship endured for possibility of strike. Interior view of miner's cabin in Colorado, around 1890. Sparse furnishings, basic supplies, tools of trade visible. Daily reality far from romanticized version. Survival in harsh conditions requiring resourcefulness and determination. Daily life of saloon girl in Old West. Most associate them with prostitutes, though many simply entertained men to encourage continued drinking and spending. Often widows with no other support or young girls seeking escape from farm life. Dancing with men, getting them to buy drinks. Men paid full price, while girls received tea or colored water. Small commission on drinks sold plus weekly salary. Many made more money dancing than they could as prostitutes. Well-dressed female sipper tips glass, 1910. Woman enjoying drink in public establishment. Social drinking becoming acceptable for respectable women in early 20th century. Frontier roughness giving way to civilization. John Sontag, famous California outlaw, date unknown. Trained robber who operated with partner Chris Evans. Built reputation through daring holdups before being shot. Another photograph preserving notorious criminal's appearance. Chris Evans, February 21st, 1894. Famous California outlaw after being captured second time. Sontag's partner in crime finally apprehended after long pursuit. Justice delayed but eventually delivered. Evans and Sontag's exploits made headlines across California. Their captures ended reign of terror. Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. Photographic prints showing performers and spectacle. William Cody's traveling exhibition bringing frontier life to Eastern audiences. Cowboys, Native Americans, sharpshooters performing for crowds who never saw real West. Bordeaux, France. Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show at Quinconces. American frontier exported to European audiences. International fascination with cowboys and gunfighters. Wild West becoming global entertainment phenomenon. Amos Little, Sioux Indian from Buffalo Bill's Wild West Show. Native American performer employed in traveling exhibition. Indigenous people displaying riding skills and traditional practices for paying crowds. Cultural authenticity transformed into commercial spectacle. Wild West show voyage from New York to London. Buffalo Bill's troupe crossing Atlantic to perform abroad. Horses, performers, equipment transported overseas. American frontier mythology spreading through international tours. Justice on the frontier came swift and often brutal. Tombstone, 1884. John Heath hangs from telegraph pole, lynched by mob. Vigilante justice, bypassing courts entirely. Territorial Arizona, where official law moved too slowly, for angry crowds seeking immediate retribution. Extrajudicial execution documented as warning to others. Loup Valley, Nebraska, around 1886. Pioneer family photographed outside homestead. Parents and children standing before sod house and wagon that brought them west. Faces weathered by plains wind and prairie sun. Daily survival on claimed land far from civilization's. 5 members of the Wild Bunch, largest and most notorious outlaw band in American West, led by Butch Cassidy, born Robert Leroy Parker, and Kid Curry, born Harvey Logan. Informal trust of thieves and rustlers preying on stagecoaches, small banks, especially railroads from late 1880s through first decade of 20th century. Criminal enterprise operating across territorial boundaries. Native Americans performing in Buffalo Bill Wild West Show, Allentown, Pennsylvania, May 9th. Indigenous people employed as entertainers, reenacting battles and displaying riding skills for Eastern audiences unfamiliar with frontier life. Cultural exhibition transformed into commercial spectacle for profit. The Long Walk would become one of the darkest chapters in Native American history. Solemn moment in Dine, Navajo. History documenting internment of Indies, Apache, and Dines to Wilde, Bosque Redondo Reservation. 1863. United States Army soldiers led forced march across Arizona and New Mexico. Many prisoners died during journey from starvation, dehydration, exposure. Poor irrigation systems destroyed attempts to grow traditional dying crops like corn. Some attempted escape. Photographs documenting misery and suffering of imprisoned people. Bonnie and Clyde, around 1932 through 33. Photograph found by police at abandoned hideout. Depression-era outlaws caught in candid moment during their violent spree. Criminal couple romanticized by press while hunted by law enforcement across multiple states. Alaska, 1890s. 2 prostitutes display wares for camera. Sex work operating openly in northern mining boom towns. Women advertising services in region where men vastly outnumbered women. Frontier economy creating market for companionship where isolation was constant. Miles City, Montana, 1890s. 2 soiled doves photographed in their profession. Another glimpse of frontier prostitution. Western towns where brothels operated as licensed. Tax businesses regulated like saloons. Women selling what desperate miners demanded. Many Old West towns required health inspections and business licenses for brothels. Vice was regulated commerce. Lot's Cabin, Miners Basin, Utah, 1897. Remote mining shelter in mountain terrain. Prospectors living in rough structures during extraction seasons, chasing elusive mineral wealth. Harsh conditions endured for possibility of fortune. Auburn Ravine, 1852. Miners working California gold rush claims. Most significant event in Western frontier settlement history. Initial discovery January 1848, though news traveled slowly. Many arrived in 48, but true rush began following year in 49 when fortune seekers flooded territory. Custer County, Nebraska, 1885. For men, faces hidden with masks, cut barbed wire fence of neighbor's ranch. Cattle rustlers photographed by Solomon Butcher in staged image documenting common frontier crime. Wire fences protecting herds. Thieves cutting access to steal livestock under darkness. Oregon, around 1900. Cowboys in dramatization of horse thief's fate. Man hanging from tree as warning. Staged photograph depicting frontier justice for livestock theft. Horses valued as essential transportation and work animals. Their theft treated as capital offense deserving severe punishment. Some lawmen became as legendary as the outlaws they pursued or became.